Morning YouTube. Just wanted to do a quick video on why I feel um, I'm able to finally leave the narcissist. I don't even like to say my narcissist. I hear a lot of YouTubers using that term, my narcissist, like, that in itself is kind of, you know, attaching you to it, attaching you to that person. When you say mine, when you say something's yours, it means, it belongs to you. So I will say, I feel like the reason that I'm now able to fully move on and leave the narcissist is because this is the only way I can describe it. Before, when I used to try and leave, I would do all the right things. I would go no contact or very low contact because we do have a daughter together. I wouldn't answer calls or texts, did all the obvious things that you need to do when trying to, break off that contact with the narcissist. And I'd do pretty well, days, weeks, months would go past and I was, just wouldn't interact at all. But in my head and in my heart and in my soul, I was still going over it all. If a text came through or something happened, or I'd go over and over and over and over it. I'd think about it all the time. So really, because of that, there's still a connection there, isn't there? There's still an energetic connection, even though physically you're doing all the practical things to go no contact. On an energetic level, you're still connected. So this time around, what I've noticed is, as well as the non-physical, as well as the physical, logical steps that you have to take to cut contact with the narcissist, I'm also finding that, when I'm lying there at night in bed and going over stuff in my head, when the narcissist comes into my mind and I think about something, a memory comes up or whatever, I am conscious that I should not, attach to that, tune into that. I notice the thought, I notice what's going through my head, a bit like a cloud that's, just passing through. And instead of attaching to it, I just acknowledge that this thought's coming through and I keep it moving. And I don't obsess and keep thinking and thinking and thinking, going over it, trying to work it all out. Now, I know that's easier said than done because, we're going through stages with this, and there are stages where you just completely obsess about this person and try and work it all out and try and find ways of trying to understand it. And that's perfectly normal, and that is part of the healing process as well. But what I'm saying is, when you get to the point where you can see, it can come into your mind, and you can acknowledge that, okay, these thoughts come through, but you can just let it move on. That's when you've really left the narcissist, because we know that there's a supernatural energetic connection on a non-physical level with these beings. We know this. We know it's, you have, wacky vivid dreams and the synchronicity, and there's all this stuff flying around on a supernatural level. When you're involved with a narcissist, it's not like with a normal person. So on a supernatural level, they can feel what you're feeling. They know if you're missing them. They know if you're obsessing about them. They know if you're pissed off with them. They know if you've had enough. They can feel it. They can feel what's going on inside. So even if you do all the practical stuff on a physical level, but inside you are obsessing about them and you are, going over everything, or you're really missing them, and you're really going into that memory of you and them together, that time and how wonderful it was, and then you're really going into another memory of you and them together at that time and how terrible it was. They can feel that. They can really feel. I mean, I've had this when excuse me, when he's been abroad, he's been out of the country, thousands of miles away, and I know that he's picking up on what I'm thinking and feeling, because when he's come back, he's said something or done something, and I'm like, how do you know that? So we know that there's a supernatural, energetic stuff going on as well as physical. So don't ever underestimate some people say it's demonic influence. Some people say they're, being controlled by outside forces. Some people, there is just this energetic, supernatural synchronicity around narcissistic relationships. I think especially romantic relationships. I'm not really sure how it works with siblings or, you know, brothers or sisters or work colleagues, but definitely with a romantic relationship, you will get that. So just be aware of your thoughts. You know, you can't stop these thoughts coming in. They will send these thoughts in to lock you in, to pull you back into that vibration again. So just be aware when that thought comes through, be aware that on some level, this narcissist, you know, the narcissist, can tune in and pick up on whether that's affecting you, on whether that's harming you, on whether there's, you know, a massive emotional reaction to that. They can pick up on it. So that's the only way I can describe it, really. It's really difficult to describe what I'm trying to say, but in my experience right now, I definitely feel a shift has happened, because when he tries to tune into me metaphysically, I somehow am now not attaching to it. You know, I am now seeing the thought come through, acknowledging, you know, because you can't resist it, makes it worse, acknowledging this is what I'm thinking about, then moving it on, you know, not becoming obsessive about it like I did before. Now, as I say, we're all at different stages of the healing process, and there definitely were times where I would obsess and tune in on a metaphysical and supernatural level, and he knew it. He knew I was still locked in. Okay, so just my thoughts around, you know, when you get to that point where you know that they're trying to tune into you on a metaphysical level, that's the point you can then think, right, you know, you've got even more control, because you know what they're doing. You know, on a metaphysical level, they're trying to attach to you, because we all know that stuff can attach to us on that level. Especially, like, you know, when you're in a romantic situation, or you've been in a romantic, intimate situation with someone. So those are just my thoughts on where I am in my own healing journey. I hope that's made some sense. It kind of makes sense to me. So I'm just sharing how I'm feeling and how it all is panning out for me. Please do leave any comments in the section below, so that I can find out if anybody else is going through this as well. If anybody else is, you know, at this stage, or feels that, you know, that can resonate with this kind of situation. And, you know, like and subscribe, and just let me know your thoughts. So on that note, take care of yourself, have a great day, and look forward to hearing from you. Thanks, bye.